So it has been a bit since my last video, and well, F1 2020 came out pretty much yesterday in Australia anyway. It's pretty much out worldwide if you buy the Schumacher edition anyway. So I figured with this seemingly early version with the Rocket Williams still a thing, I'd give some impressions and of course show you, the car at Monza. So for whatever reason, this is pre-patch. I've seen like some screenshots of people with the the We Race as One liveries, and the updated Williams livery, but I haven't gotten that yet. And when I check for updates on my Xbox, I don't get that. I don't get the update. So whatever. I'm happy with this for now. If the gameplay is final, which it very likely is, I'd be surprised if there was any notable changes. I gotta say that it's nice. It's more refined. Cars feel less slidey. Although, if you hit some curbs, like sausage curbs, like the ones at, what turn is it in Zandvoort, you will probably spin out. You're more prone to spin. It reminds me a bit of it's taking the best of F1 2019 and 2018, in terms of just like the best of the handling models of those two respective games, and then it's just mashed them all together with some improvements, and then you get F1 2020. And I don't see that as a bad thing, really. It's good. There's new stuff here. They've removed some classic cars, which I think is annoying and a bit of a pain. But if the licensing wasn't worth it, considering basically no one was using them, then I guess fair enough. For those who want to drive those old cars, there's always F1 2019. But yeah, split screen's a really nice addition. I haven't tried it yet, and I probably won't because no one would really want to play F1 with me. So there's that. And well, things locking down again, that probably won't happen for a while. I mean, locally at least. Online, it definitely will. But yeah, I just find it really bizarre that a lot of the liveries are still old. So you don't have the black arrows, you just still have the silver arrows, and I think the black Mercedes looks a lot better. It's just the gloss black just looks so good, and it looks so it's refreshing. It's new. The Rocket Williams livery looked fine, but I actually prefer the new one. And can I just say that Austrian GP was actually nuts. I stayed up very late for that, and I'm like, my body is sleep deprived for the last 2 days, but that race was worth it. That race was 100% worth it, and playing this game too. And the My Team mode is a lot of fun as well. I've done a car with a Renault motor and had Jack Atkin from F2 as my teammate because I couldn't pick at the time. I couldn't pick Wan Zhou. I can't remember the Chinese Renault development driver. I do apologize for butchering his name there, but I can't remember how to exactly say it properly. But yeah, so I tried to get him but couldn't. So I ended up going with Jack Atkin instead. And I really like the My Team mode, but I do like how you have the choice of having a My Team and then a standard career mode side by side with an option to get into F2 with a choice of how long you want your F2 career to be, which is really cool. That's a really nice change, and I haven't heard anyone really chat about that, at least in the videos I've watched. It seems like no one really cares about F2. But the F2 cars do drive better than in 2019. They're still a bit slidey when you put the power down fully, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm starting to suspect that that's probably how the cars drive. So you can kind of get over it to some degree. Also, because of the boost, the overtake button, I can't have a change camera option anymore. This was earlier, so I had the voice commands as not unassigned for a bit, and then I realized that that's a mistake. I need the voice commands to check bloody tire updates and weather updates and stuff like that. So I had to do some changes here and there, and well, yeah. So that was a bit annoying. But graphically, the game doesn't seem to be it's not a downgrade. I think this game does use a dynamic resolution though, unlike F1 2019. Well, F1 2019 did look softer than 2018, but 2020 appears to have dynamic resolution to some degree. I'm not sure though, because some things did seem blurrier in some places than others. Might have been because my first career mode race for my team was a wet weather race in Australia, so that was interesting. And then it was Bahrain, so dry. So I'm not sure. But anyway, that's all I can really say about my team because I haven't gone that far into it. But the new tracks are really cool. I actually just spent the last half an hour time trialing Vietnam, and oh, that is such a cool track. I really like how that track's turned out. I thought it'd be really difficult at first, and someone in a racing league described it as Monaco but fast, or basically said my description of that was dead on. And I got worried because Monaco, racing, I like it, but trying to practice and qualifying is just a pain in the ass. At least you can go a bit slower around the race trim anyway, and not have as much mistakes. So yeah, I wasn't having high hopes for it, but lo and behold, I ran about 8 laps of it, and I loved it. It was amazing. Getting sector 3 right is a pain, but it's worth it. It's so satisfying to get it right. And you should avoid the curbs on Vietnam, on yeah, Hanoi. So Zandvoort's the other track, and Zandvoort is Zandvoort. I like it. It's fun. It's not as good as Vietnam in my opinion, but I like it. And there are some track changes, namely in Australia. Actually, the tracks are pretty much wider, almost across the board. I wouldn't say fully across the board, but it's kind of like that. But the car handling model, like, it feels more direct, but then also you have to be more precise. So that's quite satisfying to get right. And I have to go back to my team for a sec, 'cause I just remembered that I don't like how you can't get like official sponsors, but I guess there was, you know, a significant licensing cost with that, so they had their own sponsors, like made up sponsors, which does allow for some creativity with the livery. However, you can't place them wherever you want. Like, I can't remember if you can place any stickers on the halo. It'd be a massive shame if you couldn't. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, if you could have, like, you know, your initial, like your abbreviated name, and then like the country of residence that your driver tires from, and your number up, like how Perez, well, Perez doesn't have a flag, but you know how Perez has his set up. That'd be really cool. But I'm not sure if that's a thing, which is a minor shame. But what can one do, really? But yeah, I really don't have much else to say, other than in this current state, the game is buggier than normal. Like, when loading up Vietnam, the game's crashed on me a couple of times while trying to let the time trial at least. And I thought it was because maybe I picked the Hass or something, and well, we know what happened in the Vietnam War. And I just went, alright, well, I'll pick a different car, but it still did it with the Ferrari. So there needs a bit of ironing out to be done. There's also a podium pass, which, well, it's a battle pass. It's a tiered pass progression system called the podium pass, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but I mean, I'm probably not going to buy it. I don't really care. I'm disappointed that it didn't come for free, given I did pay a premium for the Schumacher Deluxe Edition bundle, which includes a couple of things. I don't think it's worth the extra money, but I get a lot of mileage out of the F1 games, so it was worth. I was happy to pay a premium, even if the extra content wasn't necessarily worth it. So yeah, I think this might be one of the only videos you'll see with the Rocket Williams livery until it gets patched out and then just conveniently forgotten about. But I'm here to remind the world that it's in the game, it's in the game for whatever reason, and Rocket's a scummy company. On that note, that's the end of this video. I'll definitely do a follow-up video at some point, but yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and do whatever, and see you later.